As you know, I am Swedish, and I thought maybe you have some questions about Swedish people or Sweden, and I found a post on Ask Reddit that is, what is a question you've always wanted to ask a Swedish person? And this is from 8 years ago, but I think we can answer the questions anyways. So the first question is, I've noticed Scandinavian people speak English at a much higher level than other Europeans, even Dutch and Germans. Why do you think that is? Is it a result of the education system or something else? Now, I don't think it's because of the education system, because I personally didn't learn a lot of English from school. I think maybe it corrected some of my grammar, but I don't think I learned a lot of English in school. I am a gamer, so I learned a lot through games, and also watched a lot of YouTube in English. So that's how I learned. Yeah, as a gamer, I learned a lot through games, talked to a lot of people online in English. Yeah, I wonder what the other people had to say about that. I have already read some of the comments, but I will read it anyways. We watch a lot of films with subs only. We almost never dub English films and are on the internet a lot. Germans dub literally everything to German. Swedes put subs on everything instead. I heard Swedish women are hot. Is it true? Someone said a lot of them are. But I think it's just like every other country. Like, there are hot people, there are ugly people, there are average people. Most people are average, just like in other countries. I don't think there's anything special that way. But maybe a lot of people have like preferences for the way Swedish women usually look. We usually have like lighter hair. Yeah, lighter hair. Lighter eyes maybe. I don't know. But I feel like people look just like everyone else in a few different ways. And a lot of people just wear the same clothes. Like, everyone is just wearing like this fully black outfit. Like black jeans or some ripped jeans, maybe black ripped jeans, and then like puffy jacket, and then everyone looks the same. Yeah, even though they might be pretty, they look the same. What is a negative stereotype about Swedish people? I don't think I've ever heard one. A negative stereotype? Well, people might feel like it's negative that we're quite an introverted society, but I think that's pretty good, in my opinion. It's quite nice. But I guess that could be a negative stereotype, like we don't greet a lot of strangers. I just saw a stranger walk here and I was like, oh my god, I'm filming and there's a stranger walking past me. But yeah, I just kept filming. Anyways, the comments on this one are pretty funny. Well, for starters, they're Swedish. Sincerely a Dane. And then someone else commented, that's true. Source, I'm Norwegian. Can confirm. Source, I'm Finnish. Oh, that's great. Since English is so prevalent, do Swedes ever just speak English with one another even when it's not necessary? Does anyone worry or advocate for tossing Swedish away in favor of English? And I would say yes, a lot of people do speak English sometimes with one another even though it's not necessary. Like in my high school, we spoke a lot of English just because we could. And also a lot of the words we were using for the program I was in an arts and media program. A lot of the words weren't really translated because it's within the film or tech industry, so, or it just sounds odd in Swedish, so we just use the English word instead. But also we just kind of like speaking in English sometimes, and a lot of people, some people might find it cool to speak in English instead, so they just speak English. But it's quite fun to use actually. So I sometimes speak in English, and sometimes we just want to use like a quote or something. So we say it in English because it's the original language. And yeah, because everyone understands English, so we just use it. But I wouldn't say you would use it that much with like older people or anything like that. It's just usually just younger generation. Okay, wait, I had a second question. It was, does anyone worry or advocate for tossing Swedish away in favor of English? No, no one wants Swedish to be tossed away. We want Swedish. But no, we like Swedish. We like having two languages to speak. It's not like English is gonna take over in Sweden, because I think we really like Swedish. Like, it's cool to have another language, and it's fun to make jokes about it. So no, we're not gonna toss Swedish away for English. Do the women really approach the men more often? I heard that they take a dominant role when it comes to dating or asking people out. I don't think so. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no experience with that, so I cannot tell. Okay, next question. Swedish fika. Tell me about it, please. Swedish fika is like tea time or going to a cafe. We just drink something nice. It's like a little break. Sometimes people are like, we should take a fika break, and then people go and drink something nice, eat something nice. Not like dinner, just like a snack. Maybe have some coffee or tea with some cinnamon buns or anything like that. Okay, how similar is Norwegian and Swedish? And what about Danish? So for Swedes, it's quite easy to understand what Norwegians say, but it's not as easy to understand what Danish people say. But when we read, it's quite easy to understand both languages. But I think Norwegians can understand everyone more. But also Norwegian has two different written languages, and one is more difficult to understand and one is way more easy to understand. So yeah, it depends. What are your thoughts on the Swedish YouTuber PewDiePie? I like PewDiePie. He seems like a really nice person. He just seems chill, and he's quite funny. So that's what I think about him. What do people think of the royal family? They seem nice, but I don't know that they... What? Okay, I'm just gonna say, what do people think of the royal family? I think a lot of people have a good view on the royal family. They don't really have any power, so they're just kind of like a symbol. But I haven't heard anyone say that they want the royal family gone. I think people find them kind of funny sometimes. We make some memes about them, and they just represent our country well. They do a lot of good things. Like, they have a lot of organizations and things like that. So I haven't heard anyone have a negative view about them. No, I think people like them, and some people love them and some people just like them. I don't think they're gonna go away for a long time. Okay, so that's everything for this video, and I'm gonna record another one right away, but you will see it later. Bye.